Hello, I'm Piyush Dave, and today I'm going to share a very interesting method to detect TWAP. So first we will try to understand what is the meaning of TWAP, and then we will try to understand how to detect it. In market, normally how the price go up and down. So suppose if the demand of the price or demand of the stock is very high, then price go up and the supply is very low. On the reverse side, if the demand is very low and the supply is very high, then price go down. Now suppose if a fund house wants to buy something. Now if they buy a huge quantity, then it is going to impact on the price. So price may shoot on the upside. Now fund house don't want the normal people should understand that they are buying in that particular stock. So they use a method called as a TWAP. Instead of buying in single order, they divide the complete part into small orders. So they buy first slice, second slice, third slice, and so on. Now, this slice can be in random in nature. The execution time may be random, or the number of quantity which has been traded can be random. Now, this type of method is called as a time weighted average price execution algorithm. It is different than the VWAP because VWAP work with the volume and TWAP basically work with the time. So when a fund house or a big player wants to take a position, they execute this order in a very small quantity. And this basically does not move the market price very fast. But this lecture is not about, this video is not about the TWAP. It is about how to detect the TWAP. So first we will try to understand how TWAP works. Then once we understand how TWAP work, we will try to understand how to detect the TWAP. So TWAP is basically of 4 different types. The first TWAP is called basic. In this, type, the number of slices is constant and the time of the number of slices is also constant. Like suppose you decided to execute 1000 quantity in 25 slices. Then the time of execution is remains same and the number of slices of execution also remains same. In the randomize, the time is also changed and then the number of slices also changes. Time is execution of order and slice is number of quantity. In the adaptive, we basically take a slice changes. So the slice either increase or decrease in the adaptive. And in the aggressive, the time increase or time decrease based on the volatility. So basically we are taking a position which I don't want the other to detect it. So either I can go with the basic TWAP, randomized TWAP, adaptive TWAP, or aggressive TWAP. But the logic is we just want to detect this. Now, how to detect this TWAP? So I created that kind of algo to detect whether the TWAP condition is happening or not. Only randomized TWAP is very difficult to detect. Other TWAP we can detect with the algo. Okay, now how TWAP work? Let me explain that first. So suppose you want to buy 1000 quantity in 5 minutes. So that means 300 seconds. Each slice will be executed in 15 seconds. So 20 slices will be executed, 300 divided by 15. And total slices 20. And 1000 divided by 20, that means 50 unit will be executed in first slice. Now if you can see, in every 15 seconds, the 50 units will be purchased in the market or sell in the market. So nobody could able to understand that 1000 quantity execution is taking place. Now this can work with very low volume of the market also, and it impact the market very on a minimum level. Now let's understand this all techniques in depth. So first, the interval is very stable. The slice is also stable. That basically calls it basic TWAP. Fixed time, fixed number of size. Now this is the best example to understand. You can see here, in every 6 seconds of the interval, we are buying 25 quantity. Very stable behavior. We will try to check this kind of a behavior in the market. Execution of the same quantity in the same time interval. Now here, I already told you, it's almost difficult to detect the random TWAP. Why it is difficult? Because the interval is also changing. The number of unit of the execution is also changing. So everything is very much noisy in case of randomized TWAP. So randomized TWAP is very difficult to detect, but still Algo try to understand whether something is happening or not. Using machine learning and deep learning, we can even find out randomized TWAP also. But here we are not using any machine learning or deep learning. We are just trying to understand the pattern. Now in the aggressive, we basically don't change the number of slice of the quantity, but we try to change the number of the execution. Like time execution is different. Now here, if the volatility is very low, the execution time is low. If the volatility increases, the execution time also increases. So that means we are going to trade after 4.5 seconds if there is a volatility in the market. In the adaptive, if the volatility increases, we basically trade with small quantity. If the volatility is low, we trade with high quantity. That is the adaptive method. So the time interval is same, but the quantity changes based on adaptive. Now let me explain this. In the basic time, the slice is same, the time is same. In randomize, nothing is same, not a slice, not the time. In adaptive, we basically have the change in slice, not the time. Now these base change in the slices depend on the volatility. In aggressive, we have no change in slice but change in time. So that basically depend on the volatility. So now this kind of a detection algorithm we need to write in the code. Okay. Now let me explain this one more time and then we will go actual simulation environment. First part. We want to detect whether the TWAP is happening or not. So there are 4 types of TWAP: basic, randomize, aggressive, adaptive. Based on the execution, we will try to detect this kind of a behavior in the market. If this kind of a behavior is happening in the market, that means a big fund house is taking a position into that particular stock. So that means we can also follow the big organization and we can even create our position into that particular stock. That is the main use of TWAP. Now, why TWAP fund houses basically execute or use? The reason, they don't want the price to move very fast and they don't want other to see whether they have taken a position into that particular stock or not. So that's why they use a TWAP. Okay, now let me show you the actual execution of this happening in the market. Okay. So first I created a code which change different kind of a news in the market. So I created 5 different news in the market. So good, bad, neutral, worst. This news will be generated randomly. So when the news generated, the market change the volatility. Price either go up or either go down. So now this is actual market behavior. So now here the different news will be generated in the market. Different news will be generated. So the first news will be generated like, let me take the example, like we have the neutral news. Nothing is coming up. You can see that different news is generated. The first news is neutral news. I have to adjust a lot of windows so that everything can be seen at the same time on the same screen. Because I'm going to run the complete algo with a lot of different parameters. So now the news is good news. You can see the good news is come. Okay. Now this, based on this news, the algo will change the price of the market. Based on this news, the algo will change the price of the market. This news will be generated in every 10 to 20 seconds. Now let me start my exchange. So this changed the price of the stock based on the good, bad, neutral or worst news. Now let me run this. Now once this is ready, we basically get a change in the price with change in news. Let me adjust this so that we can see each of the things which is happening in the same window. Okay, now let me show you the news flow also. So there's a news flow happening, and based on that news, the market is moving. There's a neutral news, so market is not moving much. There's a neutral news. Now let me show you one, if there's some random news are coming or not. If good news, then market may move up. If there's a bad news, market move down. Okay, now there's a neutral news. I have basically created a lot of neutral news algo. The main reason is normally the news flow in the market is limited, not the very, what we can say, continuous generation of the news, negative, positive, does not happen. So that's why a lot of neutral news based kind of a randomization is being generated here. Okay, there's a neutral news, so the price is moving very slow. Okay, neutral news again, the price is moving very slowly. Small drift in the price happened. Again, neutral news. Okay, it just stick to the neutral news. No worries. You can consider this market is very stable market, low volatile market. Okay, bad news has come. You can see once the bad news has appeared over here, the price is moving. It's going very down, 2% in one stretch. Okay, again, there's no news, so that's why the small drift in the price will happen. Well, okay, good news has come. The market is going to go up 2%. Okay, now I hope it's visible to you. You have understood how the market is behaving with the news. Now let me show you how the algo works. Okay, now I created a different algo in the code. So there will be 4 different algo will be executed one by one with the pattern. Okay, let me run this. Let me close this. So the basic algo is running right now. Let me adjust this window. So I have to adjust 4 windows in the same screen. So it might take slight adjustment. Okay. Now you can see. So this is my news flow. Okay. This is my change in the price of the market. And this is the basic algo has been created. So basically we have 60-second, 10 slices. Okay, let me start my detector also. So now detector will try to understand what kind of, okay, detected basic, you can see with the 90% of the confidence. So it start detecting which kind of algo is going. You can check out detected, which kind of a method. It shows the confidence also. let me adjust this window. So we have price window, we have news window, we have the basic window. Okay, all the windows are running together. Okay, now the random is started. So you can see it cannot detect on the random. It's showing detected unknown pattern. Because in the randomized approach, it's almost impossible to detect, because you can see here the slice was 100 unit and the execution time was also same. But here the number of unit are different, as well as the price, the time was also different. Now the aggressive has started. It is still not detecting about the aggressive. Okay, adaptive, it's detecting adaptive, because after mixture of aggressive. Okay, now let me adjust these two window only. The aggressive is starting, but it is detecting adaptive. The reason behind might be just we have, okay, aggressive, it has been detected. You can see the aggressive has been detected because the randomize was just over. So that's why it was detecting adaptive. Now it's detecting correctly. You can see with the 86% of the confidence, it's detecting. It's an aggressive algo. Now we are interested in this spread only. So detective aggressive, you can see 20 slices happen, 25 unit. It's continuously detecting with the 92% of the confidence that it is aggressive. You can see the spread is still running 25 slices. Okay, still, okay, it has a confidence of almost, okay. Now the pattern is going to change. It's saying, okay, I cannot detect it, which kind of method is happening. Still aggressive is running, but it has no confidence. Might be the change in the time is the reason behind that. It's not detecting because the market volatility is very high. So that's why it might not be detecting that. Okay. Once the aggressive get over, we will start with adaptive. So we can able to understand. Okay. At the initial, it has already detected that it's aggressive. So even we get or 2 or 3 readings from the market that it's aggressive, we can also take such positions. Okay, we have a lot of slides to happen. See, due to the market volatility, it is changing the execution time. So that's why, okay, I created a real market scenario. This is a real market scenario. Okay, adaptive has started. Adaptive has started. So based on the volatility, it is going to change the number of unit. Okay, it is detected. It is adaptive. You can see it is detected. It is adaptive. Very beautiful. It's working. Very beautiful. So based on the volatility, the number of units are changed. Based on the volatility, the number of units are changed. Okay, now again, it's because the market is too volatile. Okay, now let me close this and start only these two windows so that we can able to understand all the four. So I will not keep these windows here so that we get a complete view of the running of the TWAP and the complete view of the detection. So I'll just minimize this window. This window is running in the backside. Okay, now this is the algo which we are going to run. So it is going to execute the code in the first basic. Okay, now this is the detector window. So I just need to adjust two windows now. Okay, so this is my detection algo. This is my detection value. And the second window which I'm interested is on this one, the execution. Okay, okay, let me detect that first. Okay, this is the window of, okay, this basic. Okay, So this is a basic execution happening, and it is detecting the basic with the 90% of the confidence. Now randomize is very difficult. In the basic, we have the same time of execution and same number of unit of execution. Now in the randomize, it's almost difficult. It says I cannot detect it. It shows the lowest level of confidence in randomized TWAP. In randomized TWAP, it's showing the lowest level of confidence in randomized TWAP because the number of units are different. Number of units are different, and the execution time is also different. So randomize is very difficult for anyone to detect. But if you have a deep learning neural network or if you have machine learning method, then you can might detect this. You might detect this because the pattern is so random. So discrete methods is very difficult to detect by any of the forecasting algorithm. Okay, randomize is happening for 60 seconds. And you can see it's very difficult. Now aggressive, it will detect for sure. So after 2-3 slices, for sure it is going to detect. Okay, now why it is detecting adaptive? The reason behind, just it has switched from random to aggressive. So that's why it's saying okay adaptive. But after a certain second, it is going to show for sure aggressive for sure. So in the aggressive, we are changing the execution time based on the volatility of the, you can see now the aggressive. Now it is detecting exactly after certain slice. It takes some time to detect it, but it detected for sure because I created the market volatility at the highest level. So that's why. But still, it is detecting after a certain period. In the mid of the execution of the TWAP, it is detecting okay, it's aggressive. Again, the pattern has changed because the market is so volatile. I created a real environment. So that's why you can see it is been used by a lot of fund houses and the big players so that people will not understand that they are taking a position into particular stock. It's working so beautifully. Okay, let the adaptive starts. Currently, it is not detecting, but it is already detected in the mid of the that it is working as an aggressive. The execution time is different because the market is volatile. On the news base, the market volatility is continuously changing. So the spread is changing. And based on the spread, it says, okay, you have to go for a slow kind of execution. So the time become very small in the aggressive. Okay, let's see. Once we start with the adaptive, let's see how it detect. In the adaptive, the number of units is going to change based on the volatility. So aggressive is already been detected. Okay, now the adaptive has started. Adaptive, we have the same time of execution, but the number of unit changes based on volatility. So it has already detected it's adaptive. Very fast it has detected it's adaptive because the number of units are changing based on the volatility. Very beautiful, it's working. Very beautiful. So I hope the execution is also clear to you. I hope the detection is also clear to you. So TWAP is a method used by a lot of fund houses so that they hide their positions before taking it. So thank you very much.